Welcome, everyone, to the 2025 Women's 8-Ball World Championship, brought to you from ONEIDA Casino and Hotel in Green Bay, Wisconsin, presented by Pechauer Custom Cues in Olhausen. So thank you for tuning in. My name is Lonnie Fox Raymond, and I've got Sean Denny, the Ginger Wizard, in the booth with me.
Happy to be here. Appreciate it.
All right, so here you go. It looks like this is a race to 8. This is the stage 2.
Yep.
Single elimination final 16.
Yep, that would be correct. We are down to the final 16. Single elimination knockout rounds it is.
We just saw Cheska Centeno defeat Kawahara.
Yeah, and it was Cheshka started out a little bit slow, and then as soon as she kind of got in rhythm, it was kind of a wrap from there. There wasn't really a whole lot Kawahara could do.
Absolutely. They don't call her the Flash for nothing. All right, so this is a fantastic matchup. We've got Jasmine Ouschan versus Samia Konishi. And I am not super familiar with Konishi, but this is actually only the second time I believe I've ever seen her play in person. So this will be an exciting experience for me as well as a spectator.
Yeah, I saw her play a little bit throughout the event, caught little tidbits, and I was really impressed. Obviously, you don't make it this far in a field of players this strong without knowing what you're doing, but it's going to be a tall task for sure trying to take down Jasmine.
So Jasmine did win the lag. This will be our first look at her break. 8-ball race to 8.
Looking for the balls right behind the head ball to go in the side pocket. 14 is down.
So Jasmine is actually breaking with a lot more pace than what I saw. I was doing commentary on the Table 1 feature match, the last round.
Yep.
And Christina Tkach does basically a soft break,
Yep.
tracking them balls into the side pockets. Jasmine using a much more firmer break, but looks to be just as successful.
Yeah, I saw Christina. I commentated her the very first match of the tournament, and she definitely had a very controlled break. The cue ball was basically squatting right in the middle. It wasn't popping, but the English that she was using was causing it to hit the head ball and then stop right in the middle of the table, and both of the balls behind the head ball were going every time.
All right, so Jasmine likes solids in this rack. She's going to roll the 6 in to get her started. I think what I enjoy the most about 8-ball is just the personality that you get to see from the player, just by preference and choices, and it's so different than watching them play like 9-ball or 10-ball.
Right. It's kind of commentating. It's kind of similar to one pocket because they have so many different options to choose from. It's not like rotation where you almost know guaranteed where they're going to go next.
Yeah.
This way, they have multiple different ways they can navigate through the rack.
Yeah, like I like to say, you can take plan A, but you could take plan B, C, and D throughout the rack, It's just the nature of the beast in 8-ball, but pretty exciting to have our first ever Women's 8-ball World Championship. So one of these ladies will end up, not these particular, but one of the last 16 ladies here that are still playing will be crowned a world champion, and the first one ever.
Yeah, that's going to be a prestigious thing. I mean, how many people can say they got the first ever women's World 8-Ball Championship?
Right.
Only one.
Yeah, one of these ladies that are left. All right, so Jasmine's working this rack out nicely. Looks like she's going to just go ahead and shoot the 3, slide over a little for the 1 in the left-hand side pocket. She'll probably just stun over for the 7 in the same pocket, but she may also draw over and play the 5 next. It's just so preferential in 8-ball. So she went for the 5.
Yeah, it looks like Jasmine's going to make pretty quick work of this first rack. Two positional shots away from taking a 1-0 lead over Samia.
And just so everyone knows at home too, these ladies are on a mandatory 40-second shot clock with one 40-second extension per rack. They do get 60 seconds after the break, and this is all ball fouls. I can tell you though, Jasmine actually has in her sights to win another world championship. She's definitely very determined coming back into pool. And not that she ever really completely quit, but she did focus on some training and other things, as well as, I don't know if you know this, but she was in the Austrian Dancing with the Stars.
I did not know that.
She got second.
Really?
She almost won it. Yeah.
That's pretty.
So if anybody's a Jasmine fan, go search Jasmine Ouschan Dancing with the Stars, and it was pretty cool. You won't be able to, you won't know what they're saying, but you can watch Jazz dance. I mean, she does a great job.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, so she took a little bit of time to do other things for a few years, and now she's back full force playing pool again, and we're pretty excited to have her, of course. I mean, the sport doesn't look the same without Jasmine in it,
Right.
in my opinion. But she does take rack 1 here over Samia, and it looks like our Wei Su Chen, and it looks like Wei Su Chen and Chaeyu Cho are Hill.
Yeah, I heard our tournament director announce that over the PA system here a minute ago. Super exciting. It's also really awesome that every single match from here on out will be streamed. We're not doing any more recorded tables. They are all live streamed. After this round, I do believe every match will be on either table 1 or 2 with commentary.
Yeah, when we get to the 5 and the 7 o'clock rounds, all the features will have commentary, so that's going to be great going forward for the fans at home.
Yep.
All right, does she break dry there?
I do believe she has.
2, 3, 4, 5. Everything's a little bit more to the, looks like she's got a lot on the left side of the table here. But nothing, I mean, I'll wait for the referee to move. Once he removes the Taom Max rack from the table, the official template rack of the World Championships. Nothing's really tied up, but I think pattern-wise, I like solids a lot more than I like stripes.
I think I do too, and it's mainly because of where the 10 ball's located.
Yeah. Yeah, and just really, I mean, even starting shot. Although, yeah. And I don't know what ball. I think it's the 14 ball up in the top rail. I don't like that placement either. So, looks like she's going to make some decisions here. She does have 60 seconds after the break. All right, she's going to clear the 1 out of there first, which really, she clears the 1. She could take the 6 next, and then she's just really got to pick, good patterns and good position with the cue, and she's sitting well. The 8 ball is a little bit blocked up. Looks like it only has a few pockets it can go in. Left lower, maybe the right side. Yeah, definitely the right side.
All right, Jasmine's used her extension. She is bridging kind of awkwardly with where the cue ball is in relation to the 3. Yeah, she's going to elect to go ahead and take the 3 out of the way now instead of playing the 6 first. It does make the pattern a little bit more difficult, but... All right, nice little nudge there on the 8. If it didn't go on the side before, it definitely does now. And she made the angle to get on the 8 in the lower left-hand corner pocket a lot easier.
Oh boy, she's going to double up everywhere. Does the 5 go past the 6?
I do think it does.
Okay, well that's good. I do believe that Jasmine won the European 8-ball championships as well this year. I may be wrong on that. If I am, I apologize. But I thought I had heard that she won the European 8-ball championships this year. So she's no stranger to playing 8-ball. I think some of the girls are not as well versed in the 8-ball. I think you've seen it in the early rounds of the tournament. You could see them all like, "Oh my gosh, what do I do?"
Right.
You know. But they're slowly pulling it back around, getting more and more comfortable as we go through the event. Right. So she doesn't want to fall flat. I think she's okay.
I think she's almost landed perfect to just kind of float the cue ball down here in the bottom left-hand corner.
She's got to catch the window there. You guys can see it from that view.
This is where that bump on the 8 earlier really comes in handy. She's done exceptional there. All right, she has broken Samia's serve, as they would say in tennis. I'm sorry, I've been watching a lot of Wimbledon in the mornings.
That's okay, because actually I use that term quite often. I'm sure a lot of the fans at home would be able to tell you. I do tend to use the golf or the tennis terms frequently. So, and it's her break, 2-0 currently at the moment. This is a race to 8. We got some other matches that are just getting started throughout the room as well. So Kelly Fisher and Bean Hung are on our feature table number 1. You can see that Che Yu Cho and Wei Su Chen are currently on the Hill. And Soa versus Christina Zlateva will be up next on table 3. All 4 tables will be put on our WPBA Billiards YouTube channel. So if you're not already a subscriber, please do so. If you're watching on Amazon Prime or Billiard TV, we appreciate the support. Go hit up WPBA Billiards on YouTube and throw the subscribe. We're almost at our milestone mark of 20,000 subscribers, so we'd really appreciate the extra push from everybody at home right now.
All right. Jasmine looking for the 11 ball on the side. It's fallen. Cue ball's got kind of kissed around a little bit, but that'll be okay. She just has to make one really good opening shot here. It's not going to be easy, though.
Yeah, the starting shot's not the most pleasant.
I actually do like the stripes if she can see enough of the 11 ball to just pocket it.
She's looking. If by some chance she could catch the edge of this 6, she could possibly take the 4 first. She's got enough of it. Let's see what we got on there. Maybe. It's tough to see that sometimes. So is she just laying up here, letting Samia make some decisions for her in this rack?
Yeah, she's done real well there to tie up the 2 stripes in that top left-hand corner.
The thing I didn't like about this is that if the 5 goes from that perspective, Jasmine may have just hurt herself if Samia doesn't get out here because she's left her no options on the stripes. Maybe the 9, but she's not going to shoot that. It looks as though she is going after the 5.
Yeah, if this 5 ball does go, then that was potentially a big mistake there from Jasmine.
Well, the cue ball tracked a little farther than Samia would have liked.
There's not going to be anything easy out of this position.
I think the most comfortable as far as cueing would be concerned is probably the pink 4. Oh, she's looking at a safety play.
Looks like she's going to try and back cut this one ball. Nothing easy here. Yeah.
Personally, I feel as though that was a bit of a frivolous shot, but you know, when you're at the table is a lot different than when you're sitting in the booth. So
Right.
she may have seen something completely different, and she could cue level to shoot that shot. Jasmine's still got to figure out exactly what she's going to do here with the 12, 13 that are tied up down table. All right. Is she gonna thin the 12 and try to stick the cue behind it?
I think she was looking at the 14.
Not sure what just that conversation was about there. She may not have a extension. Does she have an extension?
Yeah, I think she still has her extension for this rack.
After the break, I wasn't sure if she used it off the break or not.
She might have, actually. She's done really well there. If she can still see this 14, she can actually use it to break out the 12-15 in the top left-hand corner now.
Well played.
That was a super touchy shot.
Nice. Good push to the 12 ball to the right side.
Yeah, I think she's a big favorite to make a good clearance here and go up 3-0 and breaking. Or no, I think it'll be Samia's break.
Yeah, it'd be a Samia's break. Jasmine broke this rack. All right, so she's going to pocket this ball, just go one rail back out. Very natural for Jasmine here. Doesn't have to move the cue ball a whole lot. Should be sitting well. She could go one rail back out for the 11 in the side pocket. She could have also held that ball up and shot the 11 in the corner. I think that was just more preference. She's going to have to drag this ball past the 8 to shoot the 8 in the same hole.
All right, Weiwei has won on the Hill match against Chu, as Jasmine pockets her third 8-ball of the match.
All right.
This is one of those spots where if I'm Samia, I might go ahead and take my player break.
Yeah. Looks like she's going to stay right where she's at. So Wei Su Chen was victorious over Rita Cho. Jasmine Ouschan is currently up 3-0 on our feature. Table number 2. Christina Zlateva and Soa are just getting started. And Kelly Fisher and Bean Hung 2-1 in favor of the quickfire. So what do you think? This place is great, isn't it?
This place is phenomenal.
It's great.
Casino kind of took a little bit of money from me the other night, but it's okay.
It probably took a lot of people's money, but just the fact that we have the casino makes it a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
Good food options, great coffee shop.
Oh, the coffee shop's been a lifesaver. I didn't get to stop and get coffee today because I was running a little bit behind. We did have a big 4th of July party that we all went to last night.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us stayed out a little bit later than others, but that happens.
Yep, I came back early. I was being responsible last night.
Yeah, I was hanging out with a couple of the local people. We have a memorial tournament for Roy Skinador, and I was hanging out with one of his sons last night.
That's awesome. Yeah, I got some sunglasses from them. They gave me some cool American flag sunglasses to rock.
All right, let's see the referee take the template off of this one.
Yeah, he's not taking this one off.
Yeah.
So typically, if there's more than 2 balls touching the rack, the referee will leave it on the table until the ladies remove some balls from around it. Speaking of that, we are using the Aramith TV Pro Cup series of balls for this event. And, of course, Simonis cloth as well. Okay. So Jasmine opted to open some things up. The good thing here for Samia is that she has opportunities. Even though the 10 and the 13 are tied up right there, she has balls close to her that she can use for breakouts if necessary. Saw that rack move just a little bit. I don't know if they're quite at the point where they'll move it just yet, but she's got to move at least one more ball out of that pack.
Yeah. I think she's fallen a little straighter on this 12 ball than she would have liked. She's definitely straight on the 15.
Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with playing the 12 and just coming one rail back up above, using the 14 to break the ball out, because that just still leaves the 15 available if, you know, the breakout pushes the balls this way to the left. But when 8 ball, everything is so preferential. Let's see, she's kind of looking at the 14. She could come underneath it too, but I like getting above it. She underhit that ball a tad. Probably a lot to do with having to get the extension and being stretched out across the table.
All right, looking at making the 15 now. Just going to pop out one rail to try and get good position on the 14 to bust out the 10 and 13. No, I don't think she's come out far enough. Luckily for her, I think she can just kind of back this ball up a little bit and use the 11 instead.
Yeah, and she needs to be mindful of the fact that she is running out of options for this breakout. Unless she sees something that I don't, which is possible. She's at the table. Oh.
She tried to cheat the pocket.
Yeah, that's tough action right there. And really, she just busted the 7 out.
Yeah, she's gotten kind of fortunate that the 8 ball's still a little tied up, or a lot tied up.
Yeah, I was wondering if it sneakily made its way into the side pocket, but I don't think that it has. Jasmine has. She could always play a safety here, but she's gonna start off with just cutting the 7 in the hole and kind of figuring it out from there. She's doubled up on the 6-1, but she's got the 2 to work with. There's lots of options here. She does need to get in that at 8 somehow. I don't know if it goes past or off the 13 in the corner maybe. I don't know. I think she's going to have to move it.
Both of these players come to us by way of Taipei. Versus Amber Chen. And your opponent, Pearl Chang.
Can she go after it right here? It was almost worth it to try
Yeah.
it right there and go after the breakout on the 8, you know?
The fact that she hasn't really addressed the 8 tells me that it might actually sneak down in this bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering because she hasn't gone after it too aggressively. Both of them trying to cheat pockets and move the cue ball and get a little wild simply because of these balls tied up in the center of the table. Looks like Samia maybe. I wonder if do you think the 13-10, they're not wired to the side, are they?
To the side?
Yeah,
I
or the
don't know.
corner?
I think she's looking. Yeah, she's looking at
Yeah.
the corner right now.
I'm wondering. I wondered that myself, if they weren't wired to that pocket.
Honestly, just being truthful, I really wasn't paying much attention to the stripes at that point because I really didn't think she was going to come back to the table. I was kind of surprised by the
All right.
miss.
And now she could actually have the rack removed if she'd like. She may opt to do so. At this point, though, she may have to ask the referee to do it. I don't know that he'll come up to interrupt her at her game at the table. Oh, so the 10 doesn't go yet. It's sat up under the 8. Interesting. She does have to watch out for the 8 here. It's a big ball going towards that left-hand corner pocket. Wait, she needs that cue ball to track. There it goes. Boy, positionally, this is not the easiest shot to get from the 10 to the 14.
There's nothing easy about it.
No, she's going to have to play this with just kind of a roll stroke, just kind of try to get back to the center of the table, I believe. I mean, I guess she could play it with pace and go all the way around the table, but I don't like playing it with a high spin ball because it's unlikely that she's going to be able to get underneath there. Okay, so she's going all the way around.
Needs to avoid the 2.
Yeah, I just didn't. I mean, so I've watched Samia hit some balls in the practice room, and she's got the big stroke, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's never a problem. I never questioned that with her. I watched her in the practice room and seen how she likes to move the cue ball around the table. But in that particular moment, I don't know if I think I would have just accepted a little bit steeper cut on the 14, pocketing the 10.
Yeah, and I mean, it also has a little bit to do with the tables themselves. So different companies manufacture tables in different ways, and the rails on these particular tables, they're not bad in any way, but the balls don't really spring off of the rails.
Yeah, they're just a tad softer than, say, if you're playing on a diamond.
Yeah.
They still play well and they play true. They just react a slight bit different. So you don't get the pace off the rails that you typically seem to with a diamond table. But you know how it is anyway. I think first generation tables always have something, right?
Oh yeah, and I mean,
So Olhausen knows what they're doing. I think that with a few adjustments, these tables are going to be
elite.
absolutely fire.
Yeah.
Like, I love the flush pocket. And I think that they're right on the mark with these. Oh.
I think she's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, that was a free shot for her.
Where'd she call it at?
I think she's going to cut it to the lower right. I mean, she's going to have to spin it to keep the cue. The cue should drag to the left long rail and down to the bottom short rail. We'll see. Like that. She does miss the ball and doesn't hold the cue. I think if she'd have maybe focused more on playing that with holding the cue to the lower short rail
Yeah.
and just more spin to the pocket. But Samia definitely strikes the ball firmly. All right, so I think Jazz is okay here. She's got to figure out how she wants to get around the table. I'm not sure if she can. Okay, she can track forward. Great shot. All right, and here you see that Jasmine made sure she stunned the ball forward so that she could have a little angle on the 5 to drag over. After pocketing the 5, she should be able to drag to the left side of the table. She she could also draw straight out of this. Jazz has got that big stroke, and she is capable of this stroke. But dragging it over is a much safer route. Just like that.
All right. Jasmine with this 8-ball to go up 4-0.
Well done. All right, so Samia's going to take her break. Let's talk about what's going on around the room. Okay, so Christina Zloteva has taken rack number 1 over Soa. And Amber Chen and Pearl Chiang have just gotten started. Those are their American names. We just do that. The girls give us the American names to make it easier, I think, on the commentators. But they're all given an American name. And so Pearl was hanging out with us last night. She's adorable. And Amber Chen is actually, I do believe, she has a Big 10-ball title underneath her belt. So they're currently just getting started, though, and they're on our featured table number 4. No commentary, but you can pull it up on another browser if you wanted to watch it.
Yep.
And Kelly Fisher and Bean Hung are currently sitting at 2s on feature table number 1. All right, guys, while the ladies are taking a quick break, I think we're going to take a quick break as well. We'll be back in action with you shortly. All right, guys. So we're just waiting for Samia to make it back from her break. We got lots of fans in the room. Packed house. We're starting to pack her in. Lots of great matches going on. I mean, just having some of the fabulous talent in the room, best players in the world competing in this first ever Women's World 8-Ball Championship is pretty awesome. And everywhere you look, it's like Monsters Ball, right? Like everywhere you look, there's great players, and I think that's a testament to the hard work that the ladies and all the sponsors are putting into bringing to the world these top talented ladies. I think that that's been missing from the pool world for a very long time. So we're pretty excited to be bringing you guys this championship. And well-deserved as well. If you've never made it to a WPBA event or a world championship to witness it with your own eyes, I think you should definitely try to do that. It's fantastic, and it's just growing more and more. So if you've never come in person to watch one of these events, you definitely need to check it out. All right, so it looks like we're back at it. Jasmine Ouschan to break. The score is 4-0 over Samia Konishi. All right, the cue ball is tracking towards the top right corner. It does sit up. I'm not sure if she's hooked by the point. I think she's okay. She's tough on the 3, right? It's super straight in, leading to potentially another straight in shot. She also could shoot the 13 up table. It does track past the 5 ball. She's got the 7 in the side. That's an option. I think solids are a little bit more to my liking in this particular rack simply because of the pink 4. The 10 ball's tucked underneath the pink 4 a little bit, so stripes are a little more difficult as far as positionally. All right, good starting shot by Jasmine.
Thank our presenting sponsors for allowing this championship to be here today at the beautiful ONEIDA Hotel and Casino in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Pechauer Custom Shoes from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
All right, so she could go about this a couple different ways. She can shoot this 6 and play it with a high right-hand spin and come underneath the pink 4, maybe even popping that ball out of there, the 10 ball out. She doesn't have to. I do think the pink 4 goes without it, but if she just wants to not have to worry about taking any pace off the cue ball, she could bump it out of there, just like that. Well played. She might be cueing a little over the 10 ball here, so she may opt to play this with a high ball 2 rails out of the corner. She can draw. Okay, so she can get underneath it and stun it back out. Oh, she played it with the inside spin. But now she's cueing once again over a ball. So lots of great matches coming up today, folks. Lots more pool action to happen. So our next matchup on this particular table at 5 o'clock is going to be Kristina Tkach versus Margarita Fefalova-Steyer. Fire match right there. And then the winner of this match versus the winner of Soa and Kristina Zliteva, who currently at the moment, Kristina Zliteva, the Slayer, is up 2-0 over Soa. So, some great matches. This actually, I apologize, you guys. I think that's going to be the winner. That'll be the 7 o'clock feature match would be the winner of those 2 matches. We've got a 5 o'clock round, then a 7 o'clock round, and I do believe that on table number 1, we're going to see Wei Su Chen versus Cheska Centeno. And we'll see Christina Tkach and Margarita Fefilova on this table at 5 o'clock. A small break after this round. All right, Jasmine's putting in work here. All right, so she's got a bit of angle on this too. She has to make a decision on how she wants to play positionally. If she wants to drag it around the corner and back out. If she wants to come 2 rails out, try to catch the window between the 9 and the 11. If she wants to play it with high ball and clip the edge of the 14, forcing the cue ball forward for the 8 in the left side. There's a couple different ways Jasmine can go about this. Drawing it is treacherous because if she doesn't play with enough pace, she's going to be underneath the 11. So we'll see what she chooses to do. If she plays it with a low slide shot, she could come 2 rails back out. All right, she's really digging in, so we'll see what Jazz chooses to do here. Oh, but she misses it. See, the 11 ball was always a big ball with draw. All right, so Samia really needs to get something rolling here. This may be her opportunity. I know that a lot of you that watch some of these top ladies on a regular basis are pretty familiar with the momentum shift that happens so often in these matches. All right, nice little tap on that blue ball, but unfortunately, she didn't quite get the bump she probably would have liked. I would have preferred to see her shoot the 9 ball there, but, you know, pool is preferential in these situations, so probably going to thin the 10 and come under the 13 ball. Just playing more of a safety on this shot. Just got the bridge out. Beautifully played. Crowd showed a little appreciation for that. We've got stadium seating, or what are they called? Risers? I think they're called risers on the left and the right of the table. Full of people. It's packed in here today. All right, so Jazz is kicking at this 2 ball.
Definitely going to have to hit it with some pace. I don't think she can make contact before the first rail. Yep.
All right, and she gets a hit. So sitting well, everything is pretty open for Samia. Although she didn't get ball in hand off the safety, she definitely got herself good starting shots. A few different options. All right, so nice starting shot by Samia. She probably would have preferred to have landed a little straighter on the 14. That's the thing about 8 ball, though. I mean, there's 3 different options here.
Right.
You know, she can shoot the 13, come back across for the 10. She can shoot the 10, come back up table. I mean, it's just there's so much preference in 8 ball.
I actually do like this pattern in particular. It would have been nice for her to be able to take the 14 and 11 first, but
Yeah, she played that with a little too much pace. I don't think it was necessary to go back and forth on that shot. She could have played that pocket speed
yeah.
and just came across, 2 rails.
Yeah, she's put herself in a bit of a tricky situation here. She's got a relatively easy save with the 11 and the 8 there. She can just come off the 14 and kind of tuck behind him. She can also play the 14. The scratch does not look like it's in play. She might be able to go into the 8 and the 11.
Yeah, and if she doesn't, and she doesn't even need to, really. If she wanted to play this, she seems to play with a lot of pace. She's going to play a safety, I believe. Did she just say safety or extension?
I think she said extension.
Okay. So here, she actually could play this with a little bit of high left-hand English and then come under the 11, shooting the 11 in the side. She could go both ways with this, but I don't. She's just a little off English. She could also just drag draw it and hold the ball. I think the table will allow her to do that just because the rails are playing a little bit softer. She went for the safe. I don't know that she got her there, though.
I think Jasmine's going to be able to make the ball.
I agree. Now, with the 11 sitting there, Jasmine doesn't have to try to get perfect, right? She doesn't have to try to get past the side pocket. She can just pocket the 2 and come back and stay above the side and have a, a nice shot. The 11 ball makes, that a little bit safer shot.
Yeah.
With the cue.
She's done just that. All right, this 8 ball to take a commanding 5-0 lead. She's not made it. Wow.
Well, then. I don't know what to say, to be fair. She missed the 2 ball in the same pocket. Apparently she doesn't like that pocket.
And she's not got fortunate, I think. Samia is able to pocket this 14 with ease. If not, then you'll see her just come off of the 10 ball, try and double Jasmine up with on the 8 with the 14.
All right, well played.
Jasmine does have a relatively routine kick on the 8. She's going to call it in the side. I do think that's a smart play.
Yeah, because even if you don't kick it thin and you catch it fat, it could play off the 14 as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. I forget how sensitive your mics are.
All right, so she manages to kick it clean, doesn't catch the 14. Now here's one of these situations. Depending on the spacing between the 10 and the 8, depends on whether or not you leave that ball for last. It can be quite dangerous to leave it for last, but at the same time, it's hard to get position back down table shooting it first. So I guess you have to figure out what's valuable to you, risk versus reward kind of thing. She could leave it for last and play the bump into the 8, pushing the 8 up table for a shot on it, depending on how she gets there positionally. So we'll see. We'll see what Samia decides to do. And it's definitely like there is like no thin spot, right? So if she were to get down table and have the really thin cut on the 10, I think she's still likely to bump the 8. So I think she's probably just going to have to play for that. Yeah.
She might have actually gotten the perfect angle to spin the cue ball 3 rails and come back onto this side of the table.
Well, we're about to find out. And she does she does like to move that stroke, you know, so we'll see.
She kind of changed her mind there. She had high English on the cue ball and then elected to go a different route.
Yeah, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why those shots are not my favorite.
Right.
But if you're going to bump into them, I always say if you're going to bump them good. You know, move them. Get them out of there. Don't, you know, especially when they're on the same rail like that. Very dangerous.
All
So
right.
she's calling the bank in the left side. Ooh. All right, so Jazz is shooting. She's got another shot at that pocket again.
Yep. So far, it's not been her favorite,
No.
but I do like her to knock this one down.
Well, and I think after the couple weird mistakes with the 2 and the 8, I think Jasmine will be extra determined pocketing that 8 ball. That's brutal.
That's going to go in.
Yeah, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Samia is on the board.
Jasmine's going to take her break now. I can't say I blame her.
Yeah, three shots in a row at that pocket. None of them successful. I don't blame her for taking the break right there.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, let's talk about what's going on in the room. All right, Christina Zlateva, 2-1. Sosoa getting a rack back in that match on table 3. Amber Chen and Pearl Jiang are currently 1-1, just getting started. Looks like they've been playing for about 18 minutes. So there's that. Bean Hunk's taking the lead over Kelly Fisher, 4-3.
Yeah, I think both of them have just been holding their own break the entire time. It's been kind of a break and run fest.
Absolutely. So here, all of these ladies, whoever wins this match will advance forward into the final 8 of this event. Whoever loses will be eliminated at 9th through, what is it?
9th through 15,
16? Yeah, because it's single elimination at this point. So all of these ladies are fighting for their tournament life. When they make it to the final 16, stage 2, they come in. All the winners play someone coming from the B side. So you don't play 2 winners, don't play each other coming into the final 16. I do like that about the way they stage this event. That way the winners, you know, there's no blind draw and 2 winners don't run into each other right away in the final 16 single elimination. It's a great format. I do enjoy it. I think at this point there is a coin toss as to who could win this event. Yeah, I definitely think it's a coin toss. Who's your pick? Sean, what do you think?
Steven put me on the spot yesterday, and I've got a couple different. I didn't choose one, but I did choose 3, and the 3 that I chose were Cheshka, Christina Tkach, and I believe my third one was Weiwei. And
okay,
I think if you made me pick one, my choice would be Christina Tkach. There is, I don't want to say bias, but she does live 25 minutes away from me.
Right. Well, just being that she's in your area and you're pretty familiar with Christina and Fedor, I could see why she would be your pick, just as a fan favorite kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm looking at Cheska Centeno. I think that she is showing, stellar form this event. Some of her matches haven't made it longer than 40 minutes coming into the stage.
She had one that was only 35. I think it was 35 minutes long.
Yeah, she's so fast. Like, they call her the Flash, right? And there's good reason for that, by the way. I also, I would have said that Kelly Fisher would have been my pick coming into this event. just because of all the hay ball and the other events that she's been playing here in here more recently. I really like her. I also like Soa. I like her pace, and she's real calm and steady around the table. I'm just not sure how much eight ball she's played to
Right.
know whether or not she's versed in this discipline. But it looks like the ladies are back in action on our featured table. Samia Konishi to break.
Oh no. All right, it's not dark in there, as Lonnie would say.
That's a little Lonnieism. Well, the cue ball, she kind of lost the rock on that break. It did drag forward. Luckily for Konishi, it stayed up, but she doesn't have the best starting shots. I can't tell if she can clear the window, if she can see the 5. I still can't tell. But I don't know that I don't think she can see the 5, maybe. I feel like this is what was happening to me in my matches.
Yeah.
That I was seeing a lot of clustery breaks. Nobody was really breaking clean and wide open. All right, so just a container. Let Jasmine make some decisions. Speaking of those matches, like the hard part is, right, you had said Centeno and Wei and Christina, all
Yep.
3 of them are in the same bracket.
Right.
So only one of them is going to make it out of that.
I will say also, I do think Christina Zlateva has a really good chance in this tournament. She plays phenomenal pool. She had a little bit of a rough patch yesterday on the TV table against April. But if she can get it dialed in, watch out.
Yeah. Well, and coming out of the bottom half of the bracket, I think that she's got a real opportunity to get there as well.
Yeah.
At least get to the finals, right? But you do also have Amber Chen and Pearl Chiang battling it out. One of those ladies is always a contender. And, of course, Jasmine's still grinding it out on this match. So we'll see. Bottom half of the bracket, in my opinion, the bottom half of the bracket, if there is such a thing, maybe slightly easier to get through than the top half. Just my opinion. Please don't anybody beat me up from a fan point of view. But I love all the ladies in the top half of the bracket.
Yeah.
They're all my favorites. So pretty brutal. All right, this is tricky for Jazz. So she can make the 10 ball, but she's going to have to hit it with a little pace because the 13 is right by the 5. And if it double bumps into that 5, it could very easily stay there. All right, well played. Good pace. I love that she shot all the way through that ball. It was a great shot by Jazz.
Yeah, it's always kind of tricky whenever you know you're going into another ball at pace. It's always tricky trying to figure out where your cue ball is going to land up.
Yeah, and she had to hit it with some pace. I mean, there was just no options. Sometimes I say, too, that fortune tends to favor the bold. So in those situations, you just got to kind of let go and let God. Well, she made that great shot on the 10 and then just kind of had a lapse of focus, I think, on the 13.
Yeah, she got down really quick and kind of, I don't want to say poked at it, but it didn't seem like she really gave it the full attention that she did on the 10.
Right. Little lapse of focus there for Jasmine. Samia's going to take full advantage of that. Looks like she's going to start with the 7. I think I would just roll this in. I don't think I would try to go all the way around the world. The 3 does go past the 13 into the corner. Or I believe it does. Based on the patch on her jersey, it looks as though she's a Mez-sponsored player. Actually, Mika Immonen is here. He's also a Mez-sponsored player. He's here doing commentary, I think, in the other booth, right?
Yeah, he's over in booth 1 right now with Mr. Stephen Wyatt. Stephen is virtual.
I think he's mad he's not here with us.
Oh, he definitely is. And I've rubbed it in his nose a little bit here and there. I told him, I was like, hey, man, if you'd have just packed up and moved to Louisville, you would have got to ride up here with us.
Yeah, that's fair. He's got great things happening for him in Texas, so.
Yeah.
All right, so she opts to cut to the 5 next. She misses the 5, and this is a good opportunity for Jasmine.
I don't think Samia is going to come back to the table here. I think Jasmine's going to take full advantage and focus on every single shot.
Samia just doesn't really look settled to me. She looks a little maybe nervous. You kind of see her moving around a little, trying to maybe get some oxygen to the muscles, you know? Like,
Yeah.
It's got to be nerve-wracking. Jasmine's been a strong figure in our sport for a lot of years, so I'm sure it's tough. I don't know how familiar they are with each other, but regardless, Jasmine is very powerful and has quite a presence at the table. All right, so she's trying to decide here what she needs to do. I don't know that she can see the 13, so I don't think she has a choice. All right. Well played by Jazz. Yeah, dragging this around could be dangerous. The pink 4 is going to become a real big ball if she tries to do that. I'd almost probably prefer to see her play this with a high right-hand spin, kill it off the cue ball, kill it off the rail, excuse me, and come back up towards the center of the table just like that for the 8. I'm glad she opted to not drag that around. Well played by Jasmine. All right, and just rolling that 8 ball in. No more power stroke misses for Jasmine there. All right, and there you have it. Score is 5-1 in favor of Jasmine Ouschan from Austria over Samia Konishi, the Japanese player.
Yeah, Jasmine really took her time on each of those balls, made sure that she was hitting them the way that she wanted, knowing where the cue ball was going to go.
Yeah, and I like too there because Jasmine does have a tendency to really strike the ball.
Yeah.
But she's mindful. She knows that she used power strokes on all those other shots, stun strokes, and it wasn't working. The pocket wasn't accepting the balls. So she got down on that 8 ball and she really just rolled it in nicely with some control. Well played. Good decision making by Jasmine. All right, Sosa has taken the lead over the Slayer on table 3. Tied up on table 4. Tied up on feature table number 1. Jasmine Ouschan to break.
See if she takes a little bit off of the break. It's not necessarily. Yeah, she did. I kind of like that, controlling it a little bit more. She was potting a ball on every one of her subsequent breaks. She was just losing the cue ball a lot. I like her taking a little bit off and having more of a controlled break. Even though it didn't work out for her on that one, I did like it. Alright. Nothing real easy here for an opener. Looks as though Samia is going to play this 10 ball in the right side pocket. I like it. There's no real trouble to navigate through this rack. Just needs to bear down and make a good opening shot right here. She's done just that. A little unfortunate. I think she's doubled up on the 14. It would be nice to be able to see that ball right now, but I think she'll be okay. I think this 15 does go on the side. It is tough. She looking at back cutting it into the top right corner? No, she's playing the 12. Okay. Nicely done there. She is really close to the 14, but she does have a way to shoot the 11 right now in the opposite side pocket that she just played the 12 in.
All right, I want to say just for a second for any of you who are watching on Amazon Prime or on Billiard TV, if you are not currently subscribed to WPBA Billiards on YouTube or X-Pool, please take just a second to go over there. Hit the subscribe button for both of these two fabulous entities who I happen to be part of. But we are really close to hitting a milestone mark on our WPBA YouTube. So if you guys could give us a second and roll over there to YouTube and throw the subscription button, we'd really appreciate that.
It is free.
It is totally free to become a subscriber, and then you'll always get notified whenever one of us goes live. So thank you for that, and back to the regular programming.
Alright, so she is a little unfortunate here that the 9 is tied up into the 6, but I do believe she can play the 11 ball off of the 6 to help bump it out.
Wow. Pretty uncharacteristic miss there. I feel as though that was a super makeable ball for Samia. Probably in one of those situations you're focusing more on position than pocketing the ball. We've watched a couple of those mistakes up to this point in the match.
Yeah, Pia has, sorry, Jasmine. We were just talking about Pia. Apologize, but Jasmine has a little bit of work to do here, and it looks like she's fallen really nicely on this 5 and 4. Those were the two problems that she was going to have to address.
Now she can roll this forward and take the 5 in the lower left. I think that's probably what she'll end up doing here. I'm always really mindful. She does need to be aware of the side pocket in a follow shot here. Because although it doesn't look like it's an issue, so often you'll see people scratch in these situations where she stunned it, beautifully played. So many people I see do that. They play it with a follow and end up in that side pocket.
Both of us are struggling in here today.
I went to bed early last night, too.
I did not.
I did. I was responsible. But I knew you were staying out, so I was like, I should probably go to bed, get up early, just to make sure.
I was doing a little bit of networking last night, trying to get the noon match covered for me. That way I could sleep in a little, and didn't quite work out that way, but it's okay.
Well, good thing me and Kyle are always here early in the mornings.
Yep.
We always got you, don't worry. I think Kyle and I might be cut from the same cloth a bit in that regard.
The rest of this trip, I've woken up at like 7:30, 8 o'clock every morning, which is wild for me because I work night shifts managing a bar. So morning time is definitely not my forte. But
So I like this. Jasmine's just playing the angle of the balls that she's been given. She's probably going to shoot the 6 in the top right corner pocket, play it with a little roll forward, shooting the 3 in the top left corner pocket. Just like that. Well played. She doesn't really want to land on the rail, but it's not, detrimental to the out. If she doesn't have full cue ball here, she should be able to pocket the 3 and just go to the rail and back out comfortably. And if she's not comfortable, she can just roll the 3 in and she'll be fine. Yeah. Well played.
All right. 2 balls away from going up 6-1.
She's going to thread the gap. Oh, boy. Making it a little more difficult on herself. Maybe a little deceleration in that stroke right there.
Yeah, she's definitely made it tough. That's for sure.
She has. So she's going to be queuing over the 13. Now, might be mindful, guys, that this is all ball fouls. For those of you guys who are in our chat rooms regularly, the lady in the white of your view, that is your Briar Rose. If you're part of our chat rooms ever.
Yeah.
She's made it on site for this event. All right, and Jasmine Ouschan taking rack 7. So score 6-1. They're going to be using the Taom Max Rack. All right, I'm going to check out what's going on. All right, so Soa and Christina Zlateva are sitting at 3s on our table number 3. Amber Chen and Pearl Chiang. Chiang is up 3-2. Pearl's been playing really well recently. And then Bean Hung and Kelly Fisher are trading racks. Score is currently 5-4 on feature table number 1. Back to our match. Samia Konishi to break. Not a really pretty rack here. The balls did not come apart well at all. She didn't get a clean connection. So once again, that rack will stay on the table for a few minutes till they can figure out how to get some of the balls off of it. And not the best starting shot. At best, maybe a combination on the 14-11. So she's calling the 11? Is that what they said? All right, well played. I think she came up on the wrong side of that 15. There's a quick look at that. But the 12 may go past the pink into the lower right-hand corner. We're about to find out.
Olhausen has created 2 large wood commemorative
All right, so I'm wondering if she is playing a safety here. She is. Okay, that's what I thought. She was trying to tell the referee. He actually thought she called extension at first, and she had to clarify. There is some slight language barriers, I think, for Samia on that. All right, so it looks like they are frozen. I think she was clarifying that they're frozen, which means Jazz should be able to just push the cue ball to the rail if she'd like. And that would be classified as a good hit under the WPA 8-ball rules. She's going to try to freeze around one of those balls, and she doesn't quite get the freeze, but she's tied things up. There's nothing good about this rack still at this moment. Not a lot of great options as far as breaking the balls out. Maybe Samia could play the 9-up table and keep that cue ball really stuck to the right long rail, like really stuck to it, forcing a lot of angle on the 13, and then that might place for a nice breakout, which I think she's done well. Could have even been a little closer, because now she's really going to have to force through the shot to get the breakout. The only thing I don't like about breaking these balls out from this direction is that the 8-ball, you're likely to push the 8, but I don't know exactly because I think the 10 might go above it. We'll see how she strikes this ball. All right, so the 12 does come out. That's good. She may also be able to get into that 10. It's a small window, but there's a chance she can get in there. She's looking at that now. These ladies are on a 40-second shot clock with 1 40-second extension per rack and 60 seconds after the break.
All right, I think she might have played shape for the 10 in the side. I think it goes. If she just follows through, she's probably going to nick the 12, come out, hit the 4, and the 12 will be in an ideal location to go up for the 14. Oh, she's going to play the 12 instead.
All right, so she does need to be mindful. She's pushing into the lower side of this 10 ball, which could push the 8 towards the left side pocket, depending on the pace she plays this shot.
Depending on how she hits the 10, too. I mean, the 10 might go flying out of there, and she could end up welded on the backside of the 4, so she does have to be mindful about where she's leaving the cue ball.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brutal. Play the safety, not safety.
Yeah.
All right. Now the one ball is open for Jasmine, so if she has a decent starting shot at eight, if she can't shoot the 2, she still got the 7 to work with. But if she can make the 2 on the side, that's even better. She could even draw from that shot over, shooting the 1 next, which might also be good for Jasmine at this point. What? Whoa. What happened there? Did she double hit the cue ball?
I'm not sure. I think she might have hit the 8.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Whew. Well.
Well, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's also not good by any means.
No, because here she's got to get a breakout on the 10 and get position on it, or get down table and get position on the 14 and hope the 10 gets clear.
Yeah.
A lot of moving parts in this shot right here.
All right, she's going to have to draw off of this 10 ball. Has to be careful, though, because she is going to go off the 4 as well and track over towards the 6 and the 8.
That was a decent shot. That's another look at that shot. Well played.
All right. Positional play here is a little tight. Luckily for her, with a little bit of outside, it does track naturally back to this rail.
All right, and that's going to work out nicely for Samia. She's going to have a really good look at this 8 ball. She's going to have to use the bridge. This is that shot that I always end up leaving myself in this uncomfortable situation where I can't reach.
Yeah, and there's really not a great place to put the bridge either. I mean,
no.
It's just all kind of awkward. She's done well, though, with it.
All right, there you have it, folks. Jasmine Ouschan still in the lead, 6-2 over Samia Konishi. What's going on around the room? All right, so Christina Zlateva's taking the lead, 4-3 over Sosoa. They look like they're grinding back and forth, and Pearl Chang is taking 2-game lead over Amber Chen. Kelly Fisher and Bean Hung. Bean has finally gotten a 2-game gap in that matchup. They've been back and forth for quite a while. So lots of racks to be played still here in this 2 o'clock round. Don't forget, guys, we're going to be back in action again at 5 o'clock. And I think we're going to have the Margarita Fefilova, Christina Tkach match on this table.
I do believe that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I think we're going to have them here on this feature number 2 table. So don't forget to subscribe to the WPBA Billiards YouTube channel so that you always know when we go live. And I want to say a quick thank you to our pool fans and community, because I do believe that we have officially hit the 20,000 followers, subscribers mark on our YouTube channel. So thank you guys so much. The last year has been amazing, and I couldn't have done it all without all of you. So
yeah, what a milestone to hit. We were talking about it earlier. How many subscribers did you have? last year in July?
I think we had 6,500 approximately last year in July
Yeah, so
when we started. So
13,500-ish in the last year. Not
yeah,
bad.
yeah, and every time I think that now we're seeing so many more. We're gaining so many new fans as we go. This World Championship and you guys from X Pool, you guys have done amazing. So thank you guys for helping me. I kind of threw
Absolutely.
you guys under the bus.
That's fine.
So I've been really blessed to be able to work with these guys from X Pool as well as the WPBA. And when we found out we were going to do the World Championship, it was a no-brainer for me to approach the board about hiring the X Pool group to come in and help us produce this World Championship. And I think they've done an absolutely stellar job. So I appreciate their help and, of course, support because you guys are like my brothers in battle when it comes to streaming. So,
Yep.
like, I'm the only girl in the group regularly with the whole pool streaming thing, but that's all right. I do enjoy it. Thank you guys for anyone who's gone into our YouTube chat and given us donations. We appreciate that as well. You can do that through the YouTube Super Chats. We accept donations there, or you can also go to WPBA.com to show your appreciation for the live streams. Also, make sure that you take just a second to go to the YouTube channel for X Pool and throw them a subscription as well. These guys do great work. All right, so Jazz played that really well. 2 rails out of the corner, come back in at round 4. And if she can see the 13, great. If not, she's got the 14 available to her. The good thing here is if she shoots the 14, she can actually come, 1 or even 2 rails out for the 9 ball. Oh, she hit that a little light.
She's asking the referee if he can take the template off now.
You can see there. They've got some pretty handy-dandy little tools, these referees.
That they do.
I've been watching them. They remove the ball, and then after they remove the ball, now in this case, they're not having to do that because there aren't 2 balls touching the rack. But if they leave that little tool down, they put the ball that goes on the other end of that tool on the back end of the tool, and so they always know which ball goes where.
Oh, yeah?
It's really cool. I've been watching them. Well, I mean, I played too, so I've seen
Right.
a lot of the referees this week.
Nicely done there. All right, Jasmine looking good to be the first one on the hill.
Okay, so she's a little steep on this 8, but I think she should be fine. And the 7-4 right there really should be confidence builders as far as the cut shot is concerned.
Yep.
Usually they're sitting there so she doesn't have to worry a ton about scratching as long as she doesn't come under the 4. Oh. Okay, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Jasmine Ouschan on the hill in this matchup against Samia Konishi. All right, Samia to break. All right, once again, Samia, she's just not quite got this break figured out. The middle of the pack is constantly staying on the table. Makes for really difficult racks for her. It doesn't allow her any opportunity to really catch a gear. This is tough. Her breaks have been really, in my opinion, the major point in the struggle. Oh. This pack of balls has got me perplexed. I'm trying to figure this pack out. I mean, the 3, 5 are just not good. We're going to have a little bit of back and forth action between these two ladies in this rack, I do believe. We'll see which lady opts to get aggressive first.
Alright, I think we're going to see a lot of this in this rack. Nobody really wanting to break anything out. Nobody with a real good opportunity yet either.
Yeah, this is not, these types of wrecks are not always my favorite. They get a little stressful, and sometimes the ladies will start to overthink the moves because it just continues to happen. So you'll notice that they get a little more timid, a little more timid. Looks as though she's going to try. I think she's going to break it out right now. Well played. Don't fall in on her. She needs that ball. Great shot. I love that she swung at that, though. It was the
Yeah.
right time for sure.
I don't know. I personally, being the one pocket enthusiast that I am, I love the games where you kind of grind it out, but it was the right shot to go ahead and get everything busted open.
Yeah, she was just so well on that 11. It was definitely time. All right, so that shot on the side, that just didn't work out well. Everything's all tied up and weird again. So almost like we got a wedge of balls in this lower right-hand corner. All right, so Jasmine's got some work to do here. The one ball is still not in a great position. The eight ball's still tied up. Now, I do think that if she gets to the five, if she can figure out how to get rid of the one, she could go about it like this. She could play the seven, then the two, then the six, try to get under the one. I mean, there are some options there. Playing the eight in the left side pocket. I mean, it's just a lot of move around, you know.
Kind of like taking the 7 first and then just using that to get on the 5 here.
Playing for the breakout
I don't
or
even,
going under and shooting the one next.
I think you can do either one, especially at this angle. You can kind of go either way with it. It's more of a comfort
Right.
thing. I personally like the breakout,
Okay.
but
For sure.
if the 6 wasn't where it was, I would probably say go underneath it. But knowing that if you pocket this 5 and you run into the balls, you're almost guaranteed a shot on the 6 anyway.
All right, so
I say that, and she's actually bumped the 9
yeah,
into the only spot where she can't get to the 6.
she's in a predicament.
She can still play the 6 ball rail first. She wanted to come out for the 1 next. It is unfortunate.
Yeah, she's going to back cut the one up table, I do believe. Yeah, so here's the thing. if you play the rail first on the 6, that's great, right? But
Yeah.
then you're still sitting in a position where the 1 doesn't. It's such a small ball. I actually don't mind her, and if she plays this with some draw, she can come under the 9. Oh, it goes.
I didn't think she could see enough
I
of it.
didn't either. I thought she called it to the top right corner. What a good shot by Jasmine.
Wow.
Well, that's where, the table perspective is a lot better than sitting behind a screen,
Absolutely.
Fantastic shot. That worked out favorably for Jasmine. On the hill, it's a good time to get a good little rub there.
Yep. All right. Jasmine, one good positional shot away from moving into the quarterfinals. Kind of curious to see if she lets her stroke out a little bit here and goes 2 rails around back to the middle of the table, or if she can hold it there. I think she can. She just elected to play it forward and take the long shot on the 8. I can't say I blame her.
All right, and I don't think we're going to see her really hitting this ball super aggressively. I think she's going to be mindful and just play this with a nice, smooth, even stroke, pocket speed. It's not a lot of worries for the cue ball. Just like that. Whoa.
It's not going to be dark.
No.
Don't you worry, Jasmine.
All right, what do you say, everybody? Congratulations to Jasmine Ouschan. She is the final 8 in this Women's World 8-Ball Championship at ONEIDA Casino and Hotel. This is the end of the road for Samia Konishi, but it was a pleasure to watch her play. I want to say thank you to Sean Denny for joining me in the booth for this matchup.
I appreciate it.
And I think we're going to have at 5 o'clock Central Time Zone, which is an hour and 15 minutes from now, we're going to have Margarita Fefalova-Steyer versus the world number 1, Kristina Tkach. So you guys, if you're still watching and you're still interested in watching a little more pool, we've got a great matchup on our bonus table. Number 4 and 3, Sosoa versus Kristina Tkach, or Kristina Zliteva. I apologize for that. And then we've got Amber Chen currently in a heated battle with Pearl Chiang on our other bonus table, number 4. So if you guys are interested in watching any of those, go check that out, and we're going to reboot, and we'll be back in action shortly. This is Lonnie Fox Raymond, and you're watching WPBA Billiards on YouTube.